Okay, people, the market's opened. Let's get to business here. Now, do we have any bids? Any bids? 25 million for Duque? Sell. Any others? 10 million from Belgium for McLean. Mate, can you beat 10 million? Sell to Belgium. All right, I need a left back, people. I need a left back. Anybody got a left back? Yes. Buy. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Queen of the South. It's Season 9, Episode 10 today, and there is a lot to catch you up on in the transfer window. It has been the busiest start to a January window I can ever remember. We're entering what I'm going to call Phase 3 of the series now, and that is we are building the team that is going to win us the Champions League, and we're not stuffing around. We're not selling any more players we don't want to sell. We're going to start playing hardball on that front as well. There's 2 games in the league today against St Johnstone and Tycoon-owned Ross County, but before that, let's start the catch-up on the transfer window. Now, the departures. Damien Allmark has gone out on loan. He's not quite working out. Damien, if you want a new regen, let me know, because I don't think this guy is going to make it. Basically, he's injured too much. Just little niggly injuries that means he can't be played. So he's away at Newport, which is a professional team, so we'll just see how he gets on there. The major departure is this guy, Duque. We got 25 million for him. Wingers, we've seen this season, they're just not working for us. And if you take his physical ability out of it, there's not much else there. So I think to get 25 million for him is okay. To be honest, I'm okay with that. So, yeah, he's been a good player for us. We signed him for $1 million. We got 25 in return. And I think, I don't know, let me know what you think. I think he maybe had served his purpose. The next man out was this guy, James Trafford, the backup goalkeeper. He has gone for 25, that'd be nice. He's gone for 500,000 to Blackburn. A very decent backup goalkeeper. He's just basically traded our bench for Blackburn's bench, and he's getting paid a lot more to do so. The next man out was this guy, Alan McLean. Again, wingers just weren't working for us this season. Now, we've only got 10 million for him. Now, I would have liked, we've actually made a loss on him. I would have liked to have got more, but ultimately, I just thought he's not playing well. We're not playing well when we use him. And the final departure is former club captain Jacob Davenport. 800 grand we've got for him off to Charlton. And I would have kept him, but we weren't using him. 800 grand is 800 grand. He has been a very good player for us. Maybe not in terms of match ratings, but he's led the team well when he was captain. He has never caused a problem. I would like to possibly get him back as a coach once he's done his time at Charlton, but obviously time will tell on that front. But now what we really are interested in, and that is the transfers in. So we knew about this one already. Baba Adu has joined us officially. He's a very good young centre-back, and I have full faith that he is going to develop into one of the better centre-backs in the world. There's a few maybe potential problems there. Pace, work rate, teamwork, these sorts of things might come back and haunt us, but I think he's going to do quite well. Now, this guy is a new one. It's a South American wonder kid, Jesus Toro. We've signed him for 1.5 million. He had a release fee in his contract at Atlético Nacional. He's a very good centre-back. Tackling and heading is very good. He can pass as well, so he's another ball-playing centre-back for us. Physically, he's very well-rounded. He's got good determination. I think he's going to do really well. And like I say, 1.5 million. He has spent a little bit of time in the first team already at Atlético Nacional, and played quite well. He's capped by Colombia, and they're no mugs. So, yeah, I think he's going to do really well. Excited to get him on board. And the final signing, I tried to get, was it in the summer, and he rejected us to stay at Copenhagen. Well, we've got him now. So Jan Hansen is going to be our new left back moving forward. Very, very quick, good crosser, decent dribbler, good positioning as well. There's everything to like about him and not too much to dislike. The only thing really is the jumping reach. But other than that, there's really no issue with him. He's been capped 6 times by Denmark. We paid a release fee of 12.25 million to get him, and hopefully he's going to prove worth it. I think he will. And I think with him, the 2 young centre-backs and Ep10, that is our back four moving forward as far as I'm concerned. We, of course, also have the young Scottish kid that we signed earlier on and we loaned back into to Hamilton, that is this guy. So he's coming back. I think that's our 2 left backs moving forward. A lot of these guys are going to be club club and nation trained for us. The other thing we did is we called back this guy, and then I realized that he can't play for 3 teams in a window, in a year, I should say, in a season. So we can't use him. And then I tried to get him back to Augsburg. He's got a work permit, and basically now he's going to sit not even on our bench because we can't use him. So that's a bit of a shame. I didn't even think about it, to be honest. So yeah, there we go. That is the window. That has been still some time, and we still have money to spend. 25 or 24.5 million. I've moved some money into the wage budget as well, so we've got about 80 grand or so a week we can spend there. So there's room and to do something else. I'm really now just focused on who are the players that are going to win us the Champions League, and they are the players that I'm now trying to sign. So like I say, I think this is phase 3. Phase 1 was getting into the Premiership. Phase 2 was kind of establishing ourselves as a European team, and now phase 3 is just going for it, signing the players that are going to get us there. Now, there are 4 games to catch you up on since last episode, where, of course, we won the Betfred, amongst other things. The first of those games was against Hibs, a dangerous side. We've seen them take points off Rangers and Celtic already this season, so let's see how we did. We fell behind early, and we're 2-0 down after 15 minutes. Duque crossed for Johnson to pull one back. And Varela picked out Johnson to have us level at half-time. But it was Hibs who got a late winner. So it was really, really poor from us in this game. We didn't deserve anything from it. We only had 3 shots in the entire game. Thankfully, 2 of them went in the back of the net to keep it close. But yeah, it really wasn't a good performance from us at all. We did give a debut to one of the young academy players, Brian Tough. It was a tough debut in more ways than one, and he was not the reason that we lost this game, even though I did bring him off the bench in a 2-2 game. Yeah, it was just poor, but he actually could be useful for us. He's got a little bit of development to do yet, but he's only 17, and we'll just kind of see how he goes. The next game to catch you up on was the final one before the winter break, and that was against Livingston. Walker put us ahead early, and Celino made it 2-0 at the second attempt. Before Ayrton crossed for Celino to get our third. So a much better performance, and basically we were just far too good for them. You can see XG tracker-wise, we dominated the game, and we should have scored more. Our XG was almost 4.5, so to only score 3 was in actual fact disappointing. But second half, it was one of those that was already done in the first half. Everybody played well. Tough came off the bench again. He got a better match rating this time as well. And it's difficult to poke a hole in the performance other than the fact we should have scored more. Next up, after the winter break, first up was away to Celtic, which is a tough resumption. So let's see how it went. We fell behind late in the first half, but Ayrton crossed for Johnny Angus to rescue a point. So this was a poor game. A draw was completely fair, to be honest. No one deserved to win it. You can see from XG, neither team got as high as a goal. Ayrton played quite well. We've actually had bids coming in from Bayern Munich for Ayrton, which we're rejecting because that's where we're at now. He's not kicked off yet, so that's a good thing. And I think the weather affected it, to be honest. We went more direct, sort of second half of the second half, so after about the 70th minute, and that's when we scored. So I think the weather and the pitch just affected the game, which is probably why it was so poor. Final game to catch you up on was against Aberdeen. Leshy got the only goal. So this was a comfortable 1-0 win. We, again, should have scored more perhaps, but they never really threatened us. Toro made his debut in this one, did okay, and yeah, it was just one of those. It should have been more, but we got the result in the end, so we'll take the 3 points and run. If you want to have a look at what all that means to the league table, well, Celtic are right there. They're only 2 points back from us. Everybody else has dropped away. You can see Hibs, I mean, it wasn't ideal to lose the game, but they are proving to be a very good team. Rangers and Ross County, who we played today, are all still there. And, of course, the first game is against St Johnstone. That is a game I would ideally think we should be winning. So that is everything there. Of course, we have our draw for the Europa League, which we saw last time. That's going to be a tough one. But first things first, let's go and face St Johnstone here. You can see they're not a particularly together side. It's a 4-2-3-1 that we're up against, and this is the team we're sending out. It is Perez in goal. Now, the reason that he is in goal, he's been called back from his loan, and he's in goal because Bursic has got a bit of an injury. He'll be back soon. It's a virus, actually, not an injury, but yeah, he'll be back soon, but a little bit disappointing. Hansen it'll be his debut at left back, so a first look for you, a first look for me. It'll be Toro, and it will be Adu making his debut as well in this one. And then Ianu will play right back. He is developing very, very nicely indeed. The midfield will be Bruno, it will be Santos, and it will be Irving. The reason that Santos is playing as a deep-lying playmaker in this one is because, for some reason, Mashagi has been called up to Sweden for an international game. So that's that. I don't know why Sweden will be playing a game in January. It's going to be Bermudez as the number 10 in behind Johnny Angus and Eddie Johnson. In terms of the promises for football, we've still got time to move fulfill those promises, but everybody is more or less happy with their game time. So you can see a couple of bids in for players. Bernard is effectively done now, so we're just trying to get as much as we can for him. And I think Varela as well, another one that he's been a good player for us, but he's a little bit older, and if we can get a fee for him now, we've got left back sorted, we've got a backup sorted. There's really no point keeping him around. All right, so we can see the team sheets there. Leighton Clarkson, that's who I was trying to think of the other day. It was the sort of the Razayev of previous series, or who I was comparing Razayev to. And there's nobody else there that I completely remember off the top of my head. So yeah, St. Johnstone they're a sort of relatively established side, but yeah, they never really seem to. Let's just play unnatural game. Let's go with that. Yeah, they never seem to do very well, but they always seem to be in the league. So I guess it's one of those, bottom half of the league. That's kind of what can happen sometimes. All right, and here we go. So we've got 3 of the back 4 have played 1 game between them. So hopefully that's not too much change too quickly. But yeah, let me know what you think of the idea that this is now it. We're playing hardball on transfers. We're not. Angles with a good ball forward there for Eddie Johnson. Can Eddie Johnson find the back of the net nice and early on? Yes, he can. Was he onside? It looks like the referee is pointed to the centre circle. And that, after 3 minutes, is the perfect start. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Ianu wins the header. Bruno to Angus. Johnny Angus. Crossfield pass for Eddie Johnson. And, well, he does the rest. Eddie Johnson, doesn't he? Excellent work. So yeah, I think if we're looking at the players that I think are here to the bitter end, so to speak, that we don't want to sell, well, obviously those 3 and Ep10. That, as I said, I'm hoping that will be our back 4. Leshy is going to be another part of that as well. He's only young, and of course, the 2 centre backs in particular, they will become club trained. So that'll be big moving forward. Bermudez has, I'm not sure if he meant to let that run. Ianu, it's there for Eddie. Oh, that would have been wonderful. It was an offside in there, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, if you look in our midfield, I think that Alvarez is here. He's someone that I don't want to sell. Oof. I do think midfield is maybe the next part of the team that we can look to upgrade. The strikers, I mean, I think striker is a position that you never say never on an upgrade. I don't think we have sort of a world-class star there. I think we have good players. I think Eddie Johnson will probably stick around just because he is Scottish, basically. Diaz and Celino are too old to become club trained at any point. So, although they're good players, they may reach a use-by date where we have better players that aren't club trained, and therefore they're not going to be able to get registered because, because we're going to be limited on what we can do on that front. But that's relatively solid as a first half. We didn't do too much. Don't let your performance levels drop. I mean, it is only St. Johnstone, so we probably could expect some more goals than that, but I'm not too disappointed with that. One thing I have done, and was what I did against Aberdeen as well, is the way teams are playing against us. I think what we might need to start and do is, I mean, I can't really do it in this game because Ianu wins the ball back for us again. because of the sort of player that Santos is, but you can kind of see they're just dropping them a little bit deeper so that they have a better chance to get on the ball. Johnny Angus has gone past the defender. He's rolled it in the back of the net. That's really good stuff from Johnny Angus. Number 14 now for him this season. And I'm not sure if he got a little bit lucky with a bounce off the defender there or if it was a bit of skill. We're about to find out. Hansen played his part in the goal as well. Irving is just brilliant, and I think that may have come off the defender, but I'm still not completely sure. Let's give Angus the benefit of the doubt and say it was a wonderful piece of skill. There's no one on the bench. And I am still, because the window's open, trying to loan Nicholson out. I don't think he's a player I want to sell, as Johnny Angus can't quite win the header. I don't think he's a player I want to sell because he's going to be Scottish, like, you know, nation trained when it comes to registering a squad. European squad, of course, that is. So he's going to have a use on that front for a little while yet. Ianu, let's see what he can do. Crossing, Eddie Johnson's there. And what about the ball down the line? 15th goal this season for Johnson as well. He's just quietly racking in the goals. But look at this from Baba Adu for our centre-back, our 18-year-old centre-back. How's that for a pass? Ianu brings it under control, whips the cross in, and Johnson does the rest in the middle. And it is now 3-0. And we'll just, don't like looking complacent, but that's okay. If we can get away with not using any of the bench players, then we will. The other reason why I sold off both the wingers as well is that if we do want to play with wingers as sort of something as a change, then we have players. I mean, we've seen Johnson work out there. We've seen Johnny Angus as an inside forward work out there. We also have, just generally speaking, players that can play in wide areas, whether it's as an inverted winger or as an inside forward. Bermudez can play out there. Marco Diaz could easily play out there. So we have players, and we also, of course, have the youngsters coming through the squad. We have Turpey, who is obviously a left-sided. We have two promising young right wingers as well. Damien Allmark, if he develops at all while he's out on loan, can obviously play as a wide player. So we would have we would have the other players that could play out there without sort of using up squad depth and resources in terms of wages on sort of keeping players around as an option. And Bruno hits it over the bar. So yeah, I just figured let's get the money in. We got 25-10, so we got 35 odd million for the two of them, and it was sort of holding us back having to play players in that role. So there we go there. We can see the other results. Hibs suddenly, I said that they weren't maybe going to be there for the long haul. They are certainly looking like they might be. Rangers beat Ross County, so that's an interesting result for the league as well. You just wonder if maybe it's going to be, what's-her-face, Ross County that falls away. So two players make their debut in Baba Adu and Jan Hansen, so that's all well and good. Eddie Johnson, 2 goals. Excellent work, mate. And guys, wait right there. We will be back to face the fading tycoon-owned Ross County. Let's see if we can continue that fade for them. Okay, welcome back. Now we've had a departure of another of our long-serving players. Deshaun Bernard has left. He's gone off to Southend for 1.9 million. Like I said earlier, he served his purpose. We've moved past him now, so he'll go off and continue his career in the Championship with Southend, and no doubt he'll do very well for them because that's the sort of player that he is. So I think, let me know what you think in the comments. I think he'll be fondly remembered, but I'm relatively comfortable that the time had come. Now, we're about to face tycoon-owned Ross County. They're a 4-2-3-1 side, and this is the team that we are sending out. So Bursic, back fit, he goes in goal for this one. Hansen, Walker, Leshy, and Ayrton are going to be the back four. It is Bruno, Razaev, and Almarez Bermudez. It's a number 10 in behind Angus and Johnson. They are our top 2 goal scorers, so we're going to keep faith with them. And we have a strong-looking bench of Celino, of Diaz, Bayless, Irving, Trevusio, Ianu, and, well, the backup goalkeeper is Warwick. And the reason that he's the backup keeper, though he is training on not too badly for an academy player, is that Perez, who has come in to be our backup, he's out 4 to 7 weeks with knee ligament injury. So we are maybe ever so slightly a touch light at goalkeeper, having sold Trafford. All right, so we can see the team sheets there. Now, they have signed Sibley during the window. I think it was £6 or £7 million they spent on him. Now, this guy was with us for a while, wasn't he? I definitely signed him. I don't recognize any other names there. So let's get into this, and hopefully we'll get by the old Ross County. The reason that Razayev is playing, Mashagi did just come back from international duty, but he would technically have been available. We had to promise Razayev a little bit of game time. No reason why he hasn't been playing. I ideally would have played him in the last game against St Johnstone, actually, but he was injured or had the flu. We've got quite a few players that are picking up flu. I don't know if that's something that's been sort of added into the game through an update or something, but I've never really had this many players get flu before in the winter. We've got a highlight, though, in the 5th minute. Here we go with Hansen. Let's see if he can use his pace and whip in across. He goes back there for Almarez. Almarez for Johnny Angus, and somehow that has stayed out. It's a corner. I don't think it was a defender that got a block in. Almarez now to take the corner. We've got Walker at the near post. We go beyond Tim, and it's headed away. Bermudez will pick it up to Bruno. Bruno does really, really well, and then gives it away. Razayev is there, though, to pick it up because he just always seems to be there. He's actually developing. Now, I'm not sure if it's because he hasn't played for a little while as Leshy's header goes just over. But he has actually been developing quite nicely as well. You can see there he's getting better and better. He's 24 now, so he's probably getting towards the max that we're going to see from him in terms of development. But he's not on a big wage, and I like him. So he'll probably be here for the long term. He's the sort of player that you need to be able to come in and just do a job for you in the league. Hopefully, we'll never need him in Europe, but if we do, you think he could probably handle it. He wouldn't win you the game, but you'd like to think he's good enough not to lose it for you either. So, yeah, I think he might just be one of those players that just becomes part of the furniture. There's a good ball for Angus. Maybe he can win you a game, but Angus can't beat the goalkeeper. Oh. In terms of centre-backs, obviously Bernard has left now with the 2 new additions, and Pitaluga, we really can't afford to keep him. So one of them will basically replace him in the squad, and with Bernard leaving, then that's the other one. So we'll be looking at Abu, at Toro, then Walker and Leshy as our 4, with either Nichols, or what's his name, Nichols or Nicholson, whatever his name is. Nicholson, Ianu can sort of cover at centre-back, so we'll have somebody else there to sort of serve as that 5th centre-back. And then, of course, in Europe, if we go with a 3, which we have tended to do, then we'd be looking at Leshy, at Abu, and at Toro being those 3. Here we go with Ep10 now. He's done brilliantly. Can he pull it back? It is! Oh, back post for Almarez. But again, somehow, it has stayed out. We'll demand more from the corner. Almarez knocks it in. It is over the top. I think it was Leshy that got his head on it. Now, I am fully expecting last window it was what's his face, Conan Ong, that left on deadline day in the summer. I'm fully expecting the same sort of thing to happen in terms of bids for Ep10 as Ross County have a chance. Ep10, I will fight to keep him at the club. He is really, really you'd almost say a world-class right back, I think, at this point. So if he's unhappy with me rejecting bids, then so be it. He'll get over it. That's my new mentality. I think we've got the money in for Ong. We've been able to use that to build and sign the players that we did. Because if you remember back to the summer, don't lose faith. Let's go with that. If you remember back to the summer, we had to sell Ibarra, wasn't it? Just to be able to have some money to then go and sign to some players to strengthen the squad. So we've gone from being there to then using the Ong money to essentially buy a defence that should be able to take us forward in the future seasons. And yeah, so we sort of go from there now. Now, if I'm looking at this, it's not quite working, is it? Bermudez isn't having a great game. I wonder if, okay, let's Let's do my first port of call here and drop Rezaev back a little bit and maybe take it off, exploit the middle. And maybe raise the tempo up a little bit as well. And we'll see if that works for us to create anything. And if not, then we'll go from there. Bermudez's performance has improved a little bit, but you wouldn't say massively. Alright, so we're going to make a change, and I think what that change is going to be is, I think we need to get Celino on. He's the best finisher at the club. And I wonder if we drop Johnny Angus back in, maybe use him as an attacking midfielder on attack, get Celino in as an advanced forward and a pressing forward for Eddie Johnson. And if that doesn't work, then I wonder if we push Bruno forward and bring Irving on maybe. We've had chances, we've just not really been in a position to take them. Let's try to calm down. We've got a few nervous players out there. Alright, Eddie Johnson, if you're going to be nervous, you can come off and we'll get Diaz on for you as a deep lying forward. Let's try... Okay, that's not working either. So, let me think. Okay, so we're going to take off Johnny Angus, who's just not having a great day. We're going to move Bruno forward and bring Bayless on as a Mazzella. We know that Bayless can play that role very nicely indeed. And, I mean, it might be one of these that away to Ross County is maybe not the worst game in the world to get a draw from. We have been the better team, and it's very annoying that we haven't scored here, but they're down to 10 men as well, it looks like. Oh, don't you dare. We're in the 6th minute of 5. If they score, we might see a tantrum. Get this away, please, guys. Come on. Pick him up. Pick him up! Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Oh, we're going to have... Oh. We're a minute over. They're a man down, I think. I'm assuming that's having made subs, and... Oh, it's a good finish, to be fair, but... We have just been mugged off by Ross County. We didn't... I mean, we should have won. We didn't necessarily deserve to win, but we should have won. So there we go, we can see the other results. Celtic now go top of the league, and that's annoying, isn't it? But that's sort of come from nowhere, actually. In Rangers, Jaidi has left Rangers, he's gone to Watford. So I don't know if they have a new manager as of yet. Is he a permanent manager? No, still in the caretaker mode. So, yeah, there is going to be a new manager coming in at Rangers, but that is all just... I mean, the thing is, we should have defended it better. It's still annoying, the fact that we played more time than we said we were going to. And I know it's a minimum and all that stuff, but I'm the manager. I'm not supposed to complain about these things. But there we go. Not happy. It's all right. Don't worry about it, Pep. It's all under control. Yeah, so there we go. That will do it for today. If you have enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Disappointing, but we've had a few disappointing results in the league lately, haven't we? Let me know what you think of the transfer business as well. Yeah, we will probably not do anything else in the last week of the window, but I'm always looking, always looking. We'll be back next time. It'll be Rangers away, likely. They'll have a new manager, and then it will be the return of European football as we host Athletic Bilbao in the first leg of our Europa League first knockout round. Until then, guys, I've been Aussie Bill, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.